Hello everybody, welcome back to Reading for Vocabulary. I'm Brian Stewart. We're on Unit 2 now. We're talking about rocks. Rocks? That's boring. Actually, rocks are interesting. We're going to find out some interesting things about rocks in this lesson. Lesson 4, we're talking about we've struck gold. We've struck gold? We hit gold? Well, that's what people will say if they find gold. And gold is very precious, right? It's precious. Okay, so we've struck gold. We found gold. We're talking about science. That's our subject. Our subject is about science. And we're going to focus on some rocks are very expensive or precious, right? Let's take a look. Okay, gold is a type of metal, really. They're saying it's a type of rock. It's a precious rock. If you look at these things are made of gold, it's very expensive, very precious, right? People like to have gold. Gold is very beautiful. So people will think it's very precious rock and it's worth a lot of money. It's worth a lot of money. So gold is worth a lot of money. Okay, gold is a precious rock. Okay, let's take a look at our vocabulary. Number 1, what is this? This is not gold, right? What is this? This is a very beautiful stone or rock. It's a clear, hard, and expensive stone. And you see this big one here, but you also see all of these other ones here. Wow, this is a really expensive thing, isn't it? Because it has many diamonds. Diamond. Diamond is just 2 sounds. Diamond. Don't say diamond. No, diamond. Diamond. Okay? So diamonds are very expensive. They're very hard, too. Really hard. Do you know that diamonds can cut glass? That's how hard diamonds are. Diamonds can cut glass. So diamonds are very hard. Next one. 2, something pretty you wear on your neck or fingers. Wow, look at all of these stones, all of these rocks. They're very pretty. These, of course, are gemstones. Gemstones. Let me write that here for you. Stones. Now, I don't have enough room. Gemstones, maybe I should write it over here. It's really one word, gemstones. And there's many types of gemstones. Here's our diamond. Remember the diamond. Here's a ruby, right? Here's a sapphire. There's many types of gemstones, okay? But when you take these gemstones and you make them, you put them on a ring, or you put them on a necklace, or you put them in earrings. I don't wear earrings, but some people, some guys do. Earrings. You put earrings or necklace or ring. What do you call that? That you can wear on your neck, your fingers, your ears, right? What do you call that? You call it jewelry. Now this is 힘들어 to pronounce, right? 발음 힘들어요, right? So jewelry, jewelry. It's kind of like jewelry. So if you think about it, it sounds like 2 sounds. Jewelry. But jewel is really 2 sounds. Jewelry, jewelry. So jewelry, jewelry. It's a little 힘들어, right? Jewelry, jewelry. Okay? So that is the sound, or that's how you pronounce jewelry. And remember, this is not jewelry. This is just gemstones. But we use gemstones to make rings, earrings, necklace. That's jewelry. Okay. 3, to try to find something. So you're looking through a magnifying glass, right? She's trying to find something. I don't know if you can see in the picture, there's 2 ladybugs here. She's trying to find those ladybugs, right? What is she doing? She is searching. She is searching. Search. To search means to try to find something. You could also say look for. She is looking for. Look for, search, dokateo, right? Search and look for, same thing. He is looking for his keys. He is searching for his keys. Okay, next one. Oh, where's this? This looks very dark and dirty and maybe cold. It's not a nice place, right? Maybe a little wet too. But this is really underground, far underground. And when people are digging under the ground, what are they doing? When they're digging under the ground, especially when they're looking for expensive rocks, they are mining. It comes from this place. This place is called a mine. This is a mine. It's a place. The action or activity is mining. You know, when I was younger, I worked at a mine, right? I worked in human resources in a mine, but the mine looked like this. It was an open pit mine, right? It was not underground. It was a pit in the ground. And big trucks, huge trucks. So mines can be underground like this. Mines can also be just a hole in the ground too. So there's different kinds of mines. Okay. 5. To give money to buy things. When you give money to buy something, what are you doing? You are paying. You pay money for something. Pay money for something. Something could be toys, could be games, could be clothes, food, right? You pay money for something. Be careful. Pay is an irregular verb. We say pay, paid, paid. So past tense, we say paid. How much did you pay? I paid $10. Okay. Next one. Whoa, very nice. Very banja, right? When you say banja, what can you say? Bright and full of light, it's shiny, right? Shiny is like banja, very shiny, right? If you have gold or silver, it's shiny, okay? Very shiny. Next one, 7. This is an interesting picture. These books look very, very old, right? A long time ago, they didn't make many books, and a lot of books have been destroyed because they got old. There's been fires, water, rain, people throw them away. So very old books are hard to find. Some of the original books are hard to find. What are they? What can we say about them? They are rare. Be careful pronunciation. You have 2 R sounds. R. Remember when you make R sound, your tongue is in the back of near the back of your throat. It kind of forms a U in the back of your throat. From side to side. Rare. Okay, so one more time. Rare. So, something that is hard to find is rare. Okay, next one. 8. Aw. It's cute, right? Kipchio. Okay, the little kitten, right? Little cat. The cat is not hard. That means if you touch the cat, it's not a hard surface. It's not like touching a table or this screen. It's not hard like that. It's very what? What's the opposite? Pandero of hard? Soft. Sure. If you put your hand on the kitten, it's very soft, very nice, right? Very soft. Okay, next one. Number 9. Okay, looks like somebody has been very busy today. They've paid a lot of money for many things. To get something by paying money for it. What were they doing? They were buying. They were buying many things. If you said shopping, that's okay too. Shop, right? When people shop, that's what she's been doing, but she was buying things. She was shopping, okay? Also, she was paying money for things. She was buying things. Now, remember, buy is irregular. It changes form for the past. Buy, bought, bought. What did you buy? I bought shoes. I bought a jacket. I bought. What did you buy? Okay, I bought something. Okay, next one, number 10. Oh, what's this guy crazy? What's he doing? Don't do that. Hajima! Joshime! Okay? He's got to be careful, right? That's crazy, right? He's going to electrocute himself. That's really dangerous. Don't do that, right? Very foolish. We could say crazy. You could also say stupid. Okay? This boy is stupid. I think in Korean you say pabo, right? Is that right? Pabo? Pabo would be like stupid. But crazy is michiso, right? Michiso. So he's crazy, okay? Don't do that. He's crazy if he does that. That's really nuts. You can also say nuts. He is nuts. He's nuts. He's crazy. We do this to mean he's crazy. Okay, very foolish. Don't do that. Okay, next one. Hey, these kids are having a good time. They are not outside. They're not outside. They are inside. Inside. So, pandero, out, in. And side is the same. Outside is outside with trees and nature, grass, dirt, sky above you. That's outside. Inside is in a bus or in a building, in a home, in an office, right? You're inside. Not outside means you are inside. Okay, next one. What is she doing? Well, it's a very nice thing that she has. She's imagining what will happen. So she's thinking in her mind. She has pictures in her mind about what will happen in the future. Maybe tomorrow, next week, next year. She's imagining, she is guessing. She is guessing what will happen. It's a guess. I don't know, but I'm guessing. When you imagine what will happen, you can guess. You can also, especially when you say imagine what will happen, it's like predict. You can also say predict. You predict what will happen. Okay, next one. Okay, what is this person doing? Looks like they're in their garden, right? And they're growing plants. So, when you garden, you make a hole in the ground with a tool, right? What are you doing? It's a very simple word. To dig. Dig. Dig in the ground. Dig is an irregular verb, so it changes form. Dig, dug, dug. Not a person's name, right? Be careful, because a person's name can be Doug, right? Hi, Doug, how are you? But it doesn't mean Doug as in past tense of dig, right? It's a different thing, okay? Dig, dug, dug. Okay. Next one. This is underwater, some very pretty fish, beautiful fish. But if you think about the surface of the water is here, and you go down and down and down and down and down, if you get really far down, to be far down, where are you? You are deep. To be deep underwater, deep underground, right? You go down into something, and to be far down in something, deep underwater, deep underground. So to be very deep is to be far down. Okay, next one. This is a beautiful countryside, right? We have some water here, and the water is moving, right? It's a natural flow of water coming through somewhere. You've got land on both sides. The water is moving. What do we call this? We call it a river. It's a river. Remember, rivers are wide, right? If it's really small and you could step across it or walk across it very easily, it's not a river. We would call it a stream, right? A stream. Or you could call it a creek, right? Those are very small, but very wide. You have to swim across it, right? That's a river, okay? That would be a river. Okay, 16. Water surrounded by land. So we have water here, and on all sides, we can't see the rest of the picture, but just imagine, there's land all around it. Wow, look at that, I drew that with my hand. Okay, all around there's land. So water surrounded by land is called a lake. A lake. By the way, it's interesting. What do you call land surrounded by water, right? Think about the opposite, pandero. What do you call it? You would call that an island, right? That would be an island. So island is the opposite, pandero, of lake. Okay? So water surrounded by land is a lake. Land surrounded by water is island. Okay. Now we've taken a look at all of our words. Let's do an exercise to remember those words. How well do you remember? What we're doing, this is interesting because we're asking you guys riddles. What is a riddle? Here is a riddle right here. Riddle. Riddle is when we give you clues about something. We give you a clue or a hint, right? We describe something, but we don't say the name. You have to guess the name. You have to think of the name. A riddle is like a puzzle, right? We give you some hints or clues, and you think of the answer. The answers are here. Let's go over them. Diamond, diamond, search, search, shiny, shiny, pay, pay, jewelry, jewelry, mining, mining, rare, rare, and soft, soft. Those are the answers to our riddles or our puzzles. What's the first riddle? The first riddle is I. Now, when we say I, right, it doesn't mean I, me. It means an object. Imagine some object is talking, right? That's part of the clue or the hint. So, I go on your hand. I go on your ear. What am I? What goes on your hand? Ah, a ring goes on your hand. What goes on your ear? An earring. Okay? So the answer is not ring or earring. The answer is something that ring and earring are both types of. A ring and an earring are types of what? We talked about this before. They are types of jewelry. So what am I? This is a common riddle question, right? Hint 1, hint 2, and then question. What am I? It's jewelry. Okay? So I go on your hand. I go on your ear. What am I? That's a riddle. Okay? And the answer to this riddle is jewelry, because ring and earring are types of jewelry. Okay. Let's do number 2. I can't find it. What should I do? So you can't find something. What should I do? Cry. Oh, I can't find it. No, don't cry, right? It's better to do something active. If you can't find something, 찾아요, right? Is that right? 찾아요? Yeah, 찾아요. Okay, so what should you do? You should search for it. 찾아요 is like find or search, right? So you should search for it, okay? Don't cry, okay? Search. Okay, next one. Number 3. We're digging for gold. We're digging for gold. What are we doing? Okay, so what's another word for digging for gold? What's a word that explains digging for gold? When people dig in the ground looking for gold or jewelry, not jewelry, but gemstones, what are they doing? What are they doing here? If you chose mining, that's right. That's the answer to the riddle. Digging in the ground for gold, you are mining. I told you before, I worked at a mine before. I worked at a gold mine. It's very interesting, isn't it? The company I worked for was looking for gold, and they made shiny bars of gold. Very expensive. Okay. 4. A pillow and a feather. What are they? This is an interesting riddle. It's comparing two things. A pillow, of course, is when you go to bed at night. On your bed, you have a nice cushion, right? And you put your head on it. And it's nice, right? It's very what? A feather is also the same thing. If you touch your face with a feather, it's nice and soft, right? That's the answer. A pillow and a feather, what are they? They are both. Both a pillow and a feather are both soft. A pillow and a feather, what are they? That's another type of riddle. Okay, 2 more riddles. I give him money for food. What do I do? If you give somebody money for food, or if you give somebody money for a game, or if you give somebody money for clothes, what are you doing? What are you doing? You are paying. You pay. What do? I pay. I pay. 6. You can find me in a rock. Not me. Okay. Again, riddles you have to imagine like an object or something is talking. You can find me in a rock. What am I? What am I? I'm in a rock. Well, what is in a rock here? What is something that we find in a rock? Of course, we can find a diamond in a rock. A diamond can be found in rock or rocks, right? A diamond can be found in a rock. So what am I? It's a diamond. So that's interesting, isn't it? It's fun to play riddles. Think of clues or hints and ask your friends riddles, right? You can use some of these words to make riddles to ask your friends. See if they can guess what the answer to your riddle is. Okay, well that wraps it up for the vocabulary section. Let's take a short break and then we'll come back and look at the reading. Don't go away. Hello everybody, welcome back to the lesson. We're going over lesson 4, the reading for lesson 4. And the title is, We've Struck Gold. We've found gold. Let's go over the reading. The reading starts in an interesting way. It starts with a question. Do you want to buy my rock? If you have a rock and you ask your friend, hey, do you want to buy my rock? Your friend will say, what? I don't want to buy your rock. That's crazy. That's silly. This may sound crazy, but it's not. Not always, right? Because people will pay a lot of money for the right rock. What makes these rocks so special? Okay, so, we're starting off with a strange question. Do you want to buy my rock? Normally, people would say, that sounds crazy. That question, this is crazy. Buy a rock, what? That's crazy. But sometimes it's not. But it's not in this case. I would say, but sometimes it's not. It says it's not here if you have one of these rocks, right? Because people will pay a lot of money. They're worth a lot of money for the right rock. What's the right rock? Well, a diamond would be the right rock. A ruby would be the right rock. A sapphire would be the right rock. Some gemstones are very valuable. Gold is very valuable. So, what is it that makes these rocks so special? Why are they so special? Let's find out from the reading. Next one, rocks are everywhere. So, of course, rocks are everywhere, right? Now we're jumping back from the special rocks to all rocks. There are rocks everywhere. We're standing on a big rock that's floating in space, right? And there's also a lot of little rocks on Earth. Rocks are everywhere. Why would you pay for a rock? So we're kind of getting back to the beginning of the passage. You know, it sounds crazy to pay money for a rock. Well, this mine has something inside. So the author is saying, let's look at one specific mine. Let's go imagine we're going to a specific mine. This mine has something inside. What is it, right? What is in this mine? Can you guess what it is? Okay, that's like a riddle. Can you guess? We talked about riddles. That means you have to guess about something. We're going to see some clues or hints. The clues are, it's shiny and very pretty. That's a clue right there. It's shiny. It's very pretty. Oh, banja banja, right? It's very beautiful. That's one clue. Another clue is here. You might see it on a ring, on jewelry. You might see it on a ring. And that's part of this one. People make jewelry with it. So, let's go back here a little bit. This mine has something inside. Can you guess what it is? That's the riddle. Then we see the clues. One, it's shiny, it's pretty. You might see it on a ring. People make jewelry from it. Those are clues. The answer is here. What is it? It's a diamond. Yay! We got the answer to the riddle. What is it? Or what is in this mine? It's a diamond. It's a diamond mine, right? That mine is a mine for diamonds. Okay. Diamonds are found in rocks. Of course, because we have to dig into the rock to find diamonds. Of course, most rocks don't have diamonds in them, okay? Finding one refers back to rocks. Finding one rock with a diamond is rare. It's not common. And of course that's true. If every rock had a diamond inside, then diamonds wouldn't be special. Everybody would have a diamond, and diamonds wouldn't be expensive. But diamonds are rare. They're very hard to find because they're not common. They are rare. They're rare. So, also, another problem is these rocks, the rocks with diamonds in them, are deep under the ground. You really have to dig deep under the ground to find rocks with diamonds in them. In South Africa, people go kilometers down into the ground to get diamonds from the diamond mines. So it's very deep underground. We have to dig and search for diamonds. This, what is this? The action. This action, dig and search for them, this is called mining. So this refers back to the action, the activity that we do. This digging deep underground and looking, this is called mining. This action is called mining. Okay. Mining, of course, can take a long time. It takes a long time to mine because you have to dig really far underground, right? Before I told you I worked at a mine, that was like 20 years ago. That mine is still in operation. They are still digging. Mining can take a long time. Okay. Have you ever seen a black and yellow rock? A rock that's black and yellow inside? What kind of rock is that? Well, if you do see a black and yellow rock, pick it up and keep it. Don't throw it away. Keep it. Why? You may have found some gold. You may, maybe, not for sure, maybe you found some gold. But be careful because there's something called fool's gold. Fool's gold, there's other gems or metal that looks like gold, but it's not gold, it's pyrite. And people think, oh, it's gold, but it's not gold, I'm sorry. So you have to be careful. You may have found some gold. Maybe you have to take it to a geologist or an expert, and they'll look at it. Oh, yes, it is gold, hopefully. Gold comes from rocks too. You can see the gold on the outside, right? So this is one nugget, right? If this is all gold, that's one nugget, right? That's all gold, no rock. Okay, that's good. But you can see the gold on the outside of the rock. Gold is not as hard as most rocks, and that's true. That's what's interesting about gold. Gold is not as hard as other rocks. Gold is actually a little bit soft. If you take a piece of metal, you can scratch gold. And that's important because people can shape gold into rings easily. If it's soft, people can make jewelry from gold much easily. They can change the shape of the gold. Okay? Gold, it's much softer. So gold is not as hard as most rocks. It's much softer. It's softer than most rocks. So that's what these two sentences kind of say the same thing. Gold is not as hard as most rocks. Gold is much softer than most rocks. These two sentences say the same thing, really. Okay, mining is one way to find gold. One way to find gold is to mine, to dig into the ground to find it. Sometimes you can find gold in rivers and lakes. So this is one way. This is a second way. You don't always have to mine, dig in the ground to find gold. Sometimes, like 100 years ago, 150 years ago, there were men who went in the American West and other parts of the world, but in the American West, they would take these big pans and they would go in the streams and they would take some dirt and sand and they would swish it around. Gold is soft, but it's also heavy, so it would fall to the bottom. And they would do this and they would get all the water and the sand, and the bottom they would find, see this pan, they would find gold. And they were very, we found gold, we struck gold, right? That's the name here. Okay, so wait until the summer though, okay? Because we're talking about the second one. Sometimes you can find gold in rivers and lakes. Wait until the summer before you go looking for gold. Why? Because there is less water then. And because less water, it will be easier to find gold. So all of these sentences have to do with number 2. Sometimes you can find gold in rivers and lakes. If you do that, wait until the summer. Why? The summer's hotter. The water level goes down in the summer. The water goes away, it evaporates. So there's less water. So there's more sand, right? You don't have to dig in the water or look underwater. There's less water, it's easier to find gold. It will be easier to find your gold, if there is gold there. Okay, so that's something you can do if you're in the American West. My dad, he's a geologist, and when we were young, he took us to pan for gold. We did that when we were kids, and it was fun. Sometimes Dad would put fool's gold in there, so we find that. That was fun. Okay. Remember all this next time you see a rock. You could be rich and not even know it, right? So if you see a rock, remember that. Now be careful though. Not all rocks will have diamonds or precious gemstones in them. But maybe, sometimes, take a look at the rock. You could be. Could. Doesn't mean you will be. You could be. It's possible. You could be rich and not even know it. So if you find a shiny rock, if you're in the American West, in Colorado and Arizona, Nevada, you find a rock in the stream, keep it. Maybe it has gold in it. Maybe, okay? But you won't know it, right? You have to break open the rock or show it to an expert. And they say, yeah, that is gold. So if you find a shiny, beautiful rock in the ground, keep it. Who knows? You could be rich and you don't know it. That's what this sentence is saying. Okay, let's take a look at the comprehension questions. Number 1 is always about, what is this story about? What is the whole subject that we're talking about? Okay, what is this story about? Is this story about rare rocks? Well, we're talking about, what did we talk about? We talked about diamonds. We talked about gold. What are they? They are rare rocks. So that's the right answer. This story is about rare rocks, diamonds and gold, okay? B, cheap jewelry? No, we didn't talk about cheap jewelry. Dirty rocks? That's kind of silly. All rocks are dirty. D, soft rocks? Don't get confused. They talked about gold being soft, but the whole passage wasn't about gold. We also talked about diamonds, which are very, very hard, right? So that's not the right answer. So of course the right answer is rare rocks. This story is about rare rocks. As I said, not every rock has a diamond in it. Not every shiny yellow metal you find is gold. They are rare. So rare rocks. Okay, number 2. You can find beep and beep inside the right rocks. What can you find inside the right rocks? A, blood and oil. My God, you can find blood in rocks? I hope not. Rocks don't bleed. That's crazy. You could find oil, but the passage didn't say anything about oil. We're not talking about oil here. B, you can find pollution and dirt inside the right rocks. That's very silly too, right? Because of course you're going to find dirt in rocks. Rocks are made of, dirt that's been pressed together. Rocks are dirt. And pollution, that doesn't make sense. That's just a very silly answer. C, you can find jewelry and makeup inside rocks. Jewelry and makeup. Can you open up a rock? Oh, there's some lipstick, right? Oh, there's some powder for my face. No, that's crazy, right? You can't find makeup in a rock, and you're not going to find jewelry, because remember, jewelry is something that people make. You open up a rock and there's a ring or a necklace, No, that's crazy. So you won't find that either. That's just very silly. So that leaves us with D. You can find diamonds and gold inside the right rocks. Not all rocks, but just the right rocks. Is that true? Yes, that's what we're talking about. Diamonds and gold can be found in the right rocks. So D is the correct answer. Let's move on to number 3. Diamonds are beep and very pretty. So we see 2 things about diamonds. The one thing we can see, it's right there. But what's the other description about diamonds? What else is true about diamonds? Yes, diamonds are very pretty, but what else are they? Are they ugly? No, because that contradicts. That's the opposite of very pretty. Diamonds are not ugly. Diamonds are shiny and very pretty. Yeah, remember, shiny is like panja panja, right? Very shiny, bright. And diamonds are shiny. They're bright. Okay, let's just go C and D. Diamonds are purple. Purple? Now, remember the picture? Diamonds are clear. They have no color. Well, you could say they're white, but they just reflect the light. If you look at a diamond, you can see right through it. Diamonds are clear. They don't really have a color. So they're not purple, right? Diamonds are dirty? No, diamonds look very clean, right? So they're not dirty. So, of course, we say diamonds are shiny and very pretty. That's the correct answer. 4. Gold is beep than most rocks. Let's take a look here. Now, A is bigger. Gold is bigger than most rocks. What does that mean, right? It depends on how much gold. You can have a little bit of gold, you can have a lot of gold. We don't know. And rocks are all sizes. So it doesn't make sense to say gold is bigger than most rocks. That doesn't make sense. The next one is funny, right? Gold is smarter than most rocks. So rocks are smart than other rocks? Smarter than other rocks? That's crazy, right? Rocks can't be smart. Rocks aren't smart at all. Rocks don't think. How can gold be smart? That doesn't make sense. Gold is softer than most rocks. Okay, now we're getting into something that we can say about rocks. Some rocks are hard, some rocks are softer. And as I said before, as we saw in the reading, gold is softer than most rocks, right? I made a point of saying that because gold is soft, people can make jewelry out of it. They can change the shape of gold more easily. So yes, it's true. Gold is softer than most rocks. Not harder, that's the opposite. So the right answer is gold is softer than most rocks. Okay? Okay, let's do a little bit of review about special rocks. We're talking about, there are many special rocks. We've talked about specifically 2 kinds. One is diamonds, the other one is gold. Gold is really more of a metal than a rock, but it can be found in rocks. And you can find gold nuggets, which are kind of rocks. Okay, but these are gold bars. They're very beautiful, very shiny, right? And very heavy. One thing this passage didn't say is gold is very heavy. Okay, this bar would be really heavy. Okay, let's take a look. People make jewelry with them. Yes, people make jewelry with diamonds and gold. Jewelry, they can make earrings, you can make necklaces, rings, all sorts of different kinds of jewelry. That's true. What else? We find these things. How do we find them? We find them by mining. People will dig into the ground to find diamonds and to find gold. One more thing, they are rare and expensive. They are rare, and that makes them expensive. If they were common, they wouldn't be expensive. They have to be rare. It's hard to find them, and there's not much of them. It's very hard to find these things. Diamonds are very deep underground. You have to dig hard to find diamonds. And there's not that much gold in the world. So they're rare, and they are expensive. Okay, so very interesting. Talking about precious rocks, right? And we're talking, of course, mostly we've talked about diamonds and gold. And we've learned some interesting things about these types of rocks and metal. So next time you're looking around, right, look at the rocks more closely. There's more types of things than diamonds and gold, and who knows, maybe you can find a gold nugget or a diamond if you go to the right places in the world. Anyway, that wraps up today's lesson. We'll see you guys later. Take care.